Apparently, we are live, and now I'm going to try to figure out how to share my screen. Oh God. How do you share your screen on this? Oh. Share your screen. This is the worst video of all time, folks. And I'm thankful I have no viewers. I thought this would be a lot more intuitive than it is. In the bottom corner next to the mic button. Oh, here we go. All right. Well, I think this is working. I don't know if oh, the location error. Disaster. Absolute disaster. We finally got this working and we get location error. Oh boy. Somebody once told me how to fix it. And this is so brutal. Oh, we're in. All right. Well, this is again an absolutely dreadful stream. I will probably delete it after, but we're gonna try to do this. So let's see what happens. Yeah, just running some BRs. Looks like I got the influencer 101 for, let's see how many people are currently watching this. Zero concurrent viewers. So yeah, not doing a lot of influencing, but we're gonna try anyway. We're gonna see what happens here. So let's see. I'm learning a lot though. I learned how to share my screen. So we got 30 seconds till this draft starts. This is a pretty fun week, I think. A lot of scroll down options, but I think you can also not go too crazy because I think the scroll down options are so good. You're going to see a little more scrolling than usual. But again, with these huge contests, it does pay to get unique, at least towards the end. My philosophy, and I've never actually won any of these, so you might not want to listen to this, is to try to get ADP value early, to try to get some unique combinations at the top of your lineup, and then get a little weird at the end. Now, if I get truly amazing ADP value at the top, I prefer to not get too weird at the end, almost like the don't drop the baby theory. Maybe that's bad, but sometimes if I start Justin Jefferson and then somehow I'm on Raw, it gets all the way back to me, and I take that, I'm not going to be scrolling down to the depths to get weird at the end, because I already have something that most teams aren't going to be able to have. And I'm just going to hope that the market is at least somewhat efficient. It looks like nothing too crazy going off the board just yet. Neighbors was a guy I was a little worried about not clearing protocol. I'm subscribed to the theory that he actually had 2 concussions in that game. If you watched it, there were a couple times he got up pretty slowly before that final hit that knocked him out, where his head hit the turf on one, and it just didn't quite look right. He stayed in the game, but I think that's probably why he missed an extra week, even though he had 10 days off, which is often enough time to clear protocol. Coming to me on the turn, a lot of people are saying that you need one of these 3 elite tight ends, and that could very well be true. My preference in here is actually Kittle. I think he's my favorite among the Bowers, Kelsey, Kittle combo. So hopefully we get him. We started Jefferson. I don't see anything wrong with taking Bijan. I like McLaurin. I don't think he's necessary to stick with Daniels. In fact, I think a lot of people who pass on him think they're kind of buried by the Daniels McLaurin teams. I don't think that's true, actually. If you look last week, McLaurin got there and Daniels, he kind of didn't for how high his salary is. So being I know what I'm going to do, I'm going to take Bijan and Kittle here. I love this Seattle Atlanta game. I prefer Walker if I'm going to pick one of the running backs, but obviously Walker, where'd he go here? He went 9, which is actually later than some of the drafts I've seen him in. So, yeah, so far so good. Jefferson could be the number 1 receiver or even player on this whole slate. Detroit's defense got a whole lot worse with the loss of Hutchinson, and yeah, hopefully that game shoots out a bit or at least keeps Minnesota throwing. One of the problems with the Vikings is they've just been playing so well that they haven't needed to throw deep into the second half. So we've seen some of the guys kind of not get there when it looks like they might smash a couple quarters after the first couple quarters. Cooper Kupp is a guy I have stone 0 of. Went 19 to Nate Knox here. If he goes off, I'm just going to lose everything this week. I think they're going to ease him in. He is not a spring chicken coming off a lengthy injury. If the Rams are going to get there this year, they're going to need him late in the season. So I do see them. I'd be surprised if he goes back to his full role. I don't mind him if he's there super late because he could get there. But he's a bit of a, he sometimes needs to get there on volume. He's kind of a PPR merchant. And in this half PPR format, lots early for Tyreek Hill. He's been one of my favorite late round scrolls. Let's see what we got here. I really like Pollard. I think Pollard is definitely someone I'm after. And I think I have an idea. I think I want to pair Jameson Williams with Justin Jefferson. I don't think that's going to be super popular. I don't mind taking Allen naked, right? He's a guy that is going to be, first, second round pick, or was a first, second round pick early weeks in BR. Allen, the Bills just haven't really gotten there throwing, so Allen suffered. But he can just absolutely go off. Titans play good defense. I don't mind playing, these running quarterbacks naked. I'm not really. I don't even know if Cooper is in this. Is he? He isn't. Yeah, he is. But I don't know if he counts for. Yeah, I don't think. I don't know, actually. I should probably know this. I don't know if you play Cooper, if you get points for him or not. I don't think you do. So check your local listings if you're planning on taking Cooper. But anyway, don't think you need to pair Allen with anyone. Don't really love any of his pass catchers. I like Kincaid a little bit because I don't think a lot of people, he's not going drafted every time. And I think there's this feeling that he's just gone to stone 0. So I don't think that's necessarily the case, but I do like this Pollard Allen little game stack here. Not really sure what story that tells other than there's points in this game. And then hopefully we get Jameson not getting drafted in every draft. Makes a lot of sense up against Justin Jefferson here. If he does not go, I also really like Xavier Worthy. I think it's getting a little too cute to go all the way down to Juju, especially with this like weird hamstring injury that kind of sketches me out on a guy I'm already kind of sketchy on. So as far as scroll downs, these are 2 guys that I like. And yep, I'll just take Jameson and we will run another. So that's there was the team. Not too bad. And let's do it again. All right. Now this stream, I mean, we are crushing it. We still don't have any viewers. That's okay. We've been live for 9 minutes. The algo is not putting me in front of any of you. And you know what? That's okay. That's okay. We got to start somewhere. And sometimes it's just talking to yourself for 10 minutes. We've all been there, right? Oh my God, we got the 101 again. They'll make an influencer out of me yet. If I was only doing 5 or 10 of these, I would probably take a Kyron or a Saquon or something to, get a little different, unless I really love Jefferson, right? If I think Jefferson is the clear 101, then I would just take him every time. If I'm in, let's say if I'm in a 3 max or a 5 max and I have a Jefferson lineup and I'm happy with it, I might take a Kyron or Saquon lineup because there's a world where, Kyron scores 28 points and he's just who you need this week. And if you take Jefferson and he gets you 16, you're just pretty much dead. So I don't mind mixing it up a little bit in small field. I'm probably going to max this week. So I'm fine. Just, happen to get another Jefferson team. Probably won't try not to build the exact same way, but we'll see what the room gives us. I see, though, why people play background music, because it is really weird just talking to yourself. I'm sure there's a way to do that, and maybe that's something I'll look into for next time. So we see A.J. Brown, Kyron, Saquon, Chase, Amon-Ra, Neighbors. This is very similar to the last draft we were in. I'd love to get Kenny Walker here. I don't think he's going to fall to me because that's just not how it goes. If I get the choice between Bijan and Drake London, I'll probably take London this time. We will see. I think if Daniels and McLaurin both fall to me, which happens sometimes, I think I would make that stack very happily. It's gotten a little weird. I'm a little sketched out on Deontay Johnson, and his draft position has fallen precipitously since these injuries have come out. We're getting close. We might get this. All right, so I'm going to do the Daniels McLaurin stack, right? Because you can't always get this, and it literally might be what you need. And there is something to be said for, in these BRs, you're taking 6 players. And if this is right, then all I need to do is figure out the remaining 4, right? It's a lot easier to hit a 4-leg parlay than a 6-leg parlay. So, I like when you can just kind of guarantee your stack like that. And pairing him with Jefferson, right? So, you're saying maybe this is the best stack and maybe this is the best receiver. So I'm happy with these starts, and I'll take that when I can get it. So we see Hubbard, who I would have loved to have potentially paired with this as a bring back in this game. I don't think bringing back is as critical in BR as it is on if you're playing on DraftKings, but there's an argument to be said it's not really critical anywhere. I think some of the newer research has said it's like it's a little almost overdone nowadays. It's not bad for sure. So let's see, what do we have? Oof. See, this is where it gets a little gross, right? This is a little weird. Debo is potentially, generational wealth here. Mason's banged up. And we're going to do a combo that I really like this week. We're going to scroll into the minds of Moria because I think my tight end is even further. And we're going to take Debo and Hunt back to back here. And we're going to build a little KC Niners thing. I think Hunt is still, he's not getting drafted in every contest. I think I like this little pairing. I think you're going to see a lot of people put Jefferson with one of Gibbs or Montgomery. I think that's fine. I don't think that's bad at all. It's so hard picking between these two, right? Like Gibbs was supposed to be kind of a pass catcher, and he has no receptions in his last 2 games, but is still getting there because of touchdowns. And David Montgomery doesn't really catch many passes, but he's getting there because of touchdowns. So if we see any kind of touchdown regression for those two, one of those guys is gonna really dud. And playing scared is not a way to play. But these two are drafted almost every time, and Hunt is probably, I don't have the numbers, but he's probably drafted in less than 20% of contests. So I'll take the chance that Hunt outscores one or both of them, and see if this game environment ends up being a good one, which leads me to needing a tight end. Let's see. My scroll down tight end, along with half of the universe, is Grant Calcaterra. That said, I think if Sam Laporte is there, I know he hasn't been amazing, but I've already scrolled deep into the minds of Moria to take Kareem Hunt. Okay, well, this guy took Laporta, so there goes that. I don't mind a joke. I literally don't mind any of these guys. And maybe it's a little bit of fancy play syndrome to take Calcaterra. But frankly, I think he could have a really big week, and he is just not getting taken too often. And I think a lot of the times he is taken, there's a good chance he's stacked with Hurts. So, we're getting a little different here. In retrospect, I really would have probably preferred Laporta, but we take what we can get. So we will take Calcaterra as soon as. All right, and we're done. So I think we've got a couple good drafts here, but drafting in the 101. Sometimes you don't like it, especially if you're just don't have scroll downs you're super in on. But if I know that I'm happy with Calcaterra at tight end, I can just punt tight end, and getting the stone last pick in the draft is not necessarily a bad thing. So we roll on. When this fills up, we'll see if we get another 101. Dear God, we are getting all 101s. Okay. If I had a lot of viewers here, which I don't, still at 0, that's okay. I'd probably draft a different player other than Jefferson to spice things up for you guys. However, there's no one here. It's just me talking into the void. And we'll take Jefferson again, but we'll see if we can do something different than we did last time. Again, a lot of this, and what's fun about these BRs versus if you're, say, 150 maxing is, there's variables that are completely outside of your control. Like, I can't control what these jabronis do. And if this guy takes, Grant Calcaterra second, then all of a sudden my late scroll down tight end is gone. But that means some of the better tight ends are going to be available later. And just generally, like, we've had 3 of these. Ken Walker has not fallen to 12, but maybe in this third one he will. Maybe I'm just wish casting and saying things I want to happen that will never happen. But you can end up with different things. So we've taken Bijan. Last round we took the Daniels McLaurin stack. So let's see what we can get here. And who knows, maybe we take Daniels McLaurin again, but this time Chuba Hubbard falls to us, and then we have a different situation at tight end. So we will see. Stay tuned. I've seen Amon-Ra dip, but not this far. You can get Amon-Ra and Jefferson together, but usually not from the 101. What has to happen is people open Williams, Barkley, and then at 3 you take Jefferson, and then at 10 you might get Amon-Ra, but it's pretty hard to get Amon-Ra past there. So that is something that will. And as you see, we did not get Walker because good old Rock. I feel like we're drafting with the same people. I feel like Rock the Suburbs has been in all of these. Okay. So what do we want to do? ADP says Bijan Bowers. I think we're going to get a little wild. Let's go Bijan Metcalf. And by a little wild, this is really not very wild at all. This is a very reasonable thing to do. It does mean we don't get one of the elite tight ends, but I think that's okay. I like this game environment. I want this exposure to this in many different ways. I actually think this might be how we opened our first draft. But yeah. Oh, dead air. Dead air. Not good. Not good. Got to keep talking. Check my phone. Rookie mistake. Let's see. We have been streaming for 18 minutes. I didn't even realize we're not quite ready for the grand face reveal. So that's why can't see the webcam. And I did not realize there was this just hideous, almost alien-looking situation over the bottom right corner of my screen. But that's what's there. And I don't know how to move that or turn that off. So we continue. This is so embarrassing. I'm going to have to delete this. All right. So Hubbard is just rocketing up. And I think a lot of that, let's see, who does this guy have? He does not have any part of that game. But I think, the Deontay people who want piece of that Carolina offense are now piling into Hubbard and pushing him up. And that is crushing, shoring up his ADP. So let's see. Can we do anything? Can we do anything different here? Something a little fun. I feel like this is just like so bleak. I like Tyreek Hill this week. I love that he's not drafted every time. We're going to do one of these stupid builds. And this is probably bad. But maybe it's not. And, I think if you've been watching this stream, which you haven't, because it's just me, you'll know the plan is to take Hurts here and stack him with Calcaterra. And, yeah, there we go. Boom. So in the ideal world, we'll get Calcaterra. If not, then we've got naked Jalen Hurts, which isn't always the end of the world. And we will do another draft. And we will assume we get Calcaterra. We will fire up another one. We'll see if we can get our fourth 101 in a row. So we are waiting for two people. I have really got to learn how to get some background music here. This is killing my soul. Oh my God, we got the fourth. Oh, Crutches is in here. Crutches is a big time Underdog player. He is big in crypto. Has a lot of followers. Strong player. Nice guy. And yeah, we'll see what he does. We'll pay particular attention there. The good part about some of these, BR kind of contests is you can find yourself in rooms with good players, and you can try to kind of learn from them or see who they're in on, and kind of try to improve your own process and see how they build. It's a lot of the time it's not really like who you are taking as players, but how you are building. Are you stacking? Do you have bringbacks? Are you investing in certain positions before others? I think the current meta in the last few weeks has shifted to say that quarterback is just not it. Like, it's just not worth paying up at quarterback because you are giving up too much in other positions. The elite quarterbacks haven't gotten there. You know what I'm going to do? I want Ken Walker. I'm taking him. I'm tired of not getting him. I wasn't taking him enough early. I am making up for lost time. It's Ken Walker. Let's go. A Brown, Chase Amon-Ra, They could all dominate. See, Crutches jumps, he skips these guys to take London. Let's see what he does. London neighbors. Interesting. It's back on us. And see, I'm going to take Amon Ra here. See, Amon Ra, he fell all the way to 9. It wouldn't have been ridiculous for me to take Amon Ra at 4 and then get Walker at 9. It works out to where we we get our guy anyway. So I am fine with that. I'm fine with Amon Ra over Chase Brown this week. The Browns are god awful. Like, they're really bad. And there's a world where, the Browns are just stone out of it, and it's the third quarter, and they're just not throwing for Cincinnati anymore. And if that happens, and Chase Brown didn't already get there, he could bust. He could also absolutely smash the slate. I was hearing something that I think the Browns, they don't double cover, and Brown or Jamar Chase has been victim of double coverage quite a bit early in the year, and so this might finally be his time to shine. That's fine, but he also might just be part of a blowout. So I do like this Vikings game to stay competitive. And so, I don't mind if I get Amon Ra over him. Not that I'm not taking Jamar Chase. I am absolutely taking Jamar Chase in spots. So let's see. What do we get? This pick is tough. This is a tough pick. I honestly don't know who I want here. I kind of hate this, to be honest. I feel like I'm gonna take Diggs. I don't love Diggs. I don't take him a ton, but he's also the number 1 in another game that I kind of like and want some access to. So don't mind that, but don't love it. This is, they say you don't build exposures, you build lineups. And he feels to me like an exposure pick. I just haven't been taking Diggs a lot, but nothing was, nothing was calling to me, as they say. So we will see. We will see what we get after that. We could make like a Stroud lineup. We could potentially make like a Stroud Kraft lineup, which I like. I think that would be fine. I think I'll take Kraft first. Kraft isn't drafted every time, but he's drafted a lot, especially by the Jordan Love drafter. So I'm going to take Kraft, and then ideally I will take Stroud. If not, I can take Love, or I can take Purdy. Or I could even take Goff. So I know I'm going to stack one of my main options. I don't really love stacking Goff. I feel like Goff just never really gets there. But let's see. There's probably, well, I know there's 2 quarterbacks are going to get taken. So let's see. It's also going to be hard to just not take Josh Allen and just say naked Josh Allen. Naked Josh Allen gets there for me. Oh my God. I just took 2 tight ends. This lineup is stone dead. I was not paying attention. Cool. Rip me. The only way I could salvage this, I must take Jordan Love, because if Kraft and Kittle are who you need, they need to really go off to defeat all of these running backs. I could have taken there, did not. This is my first error due to streaming. Good job, Chad Candles. Okay. All right, that sucked. Let's draft again. And that is the good part of these BRs. You can just crank them out. I'm going to step away for a quick second. Not that anyone will notice or care. All right, we are waiting for 2 people. We are still at 0 concurrent viewers, folks. Eventually, surely the algo will put this in front of somebody, but maybe not. All right, we get the 5 hole. This is fun. We're getting some new positions, which is exciting. Now let's see how this goes. All right, 30 seconds to start. All right, 4 seconds. I'm in the background. I'm trying to figure out how I can add music to this. This is so brutal. This is so brutal. Awesome. Awesome. All right. We roll on. I should have like drawn a little picture for the webcam cover, but I may never do this again, and I might delete this video. So you all do not need to see my handsome face here. What is going on? Barkley, Williams, Daniels. So this person might get Jefferson at 4, which is really lucky. And we get 5, and we don't get anything special. We're going to take Walker again. Again, this is an exposure thing. I've been drafting a lot, and for some reason, notice I barely had any Walker. So I am trying to jam him where I can. And we're going to go Walker London. And this is a combination I love. The problem with Walker London is this could be gotten at with picks 2 and 3 rather than picks 1 and 2. So I might be slightly buried by some teams that could have this paired with like a Kyron or a Jefferson or something like that, which is kind of a nightmare because you are really drawing thin to be ahead of those combos. I don't think there's too many of that team. I think Walker typically went ahead of that, but London sometimes slips, so there's definitely a chance that right now we are already behind the 8 ball and really need to pick kind of the nuts. I mean, you always need to pick the nuts in BR, but you really need the like giga nuts when you're drafting a combination that's potentially is taken a round later than where you got it. But we will do our best here. So let's see what we can do. And we're not going to take 2 tight ends. That was pretty bad. All right, so let's see. We got McLaurin at 12, which is pretty early. Did he go to the Daniels? 2 Beast took him. Nope. No, I bet 2 Beast really was hoping to get him and did not. He took Montgomery early. I don't know. This guy is marching to the beat of his own drum. I don't like to make generalizations about people with badges versus no badge. That feels to me more like a best ball take. Whereas in BR, like everyone has the guideposts of the ADP. And sometimes you see people with badges who are just trying to get exposures. You're just, they're in for 150 tournaments. So they're going to have some weird stuff. So I don't really read too much into who has a badge versus who doesn't. Dear God, Bijan's going to fall to me, and it's so tilting because I really don't want Bijan on this team where I already have Drake London. Okay, he did not. Well, we're going to get some Brock Bowers, which I think is a terrific pick. One thing to check, does he have a tight end? No. So if he did, I would probably take somebody else I rate Bowers well ahead of Kelsey. Kelsey sketches me out pretty big time. What's a little note here? Clear to face Packers. Well, yeah, we knew that he was playing last week. It's gonna be hard for me to not take Joe Mixon, Chuba Hubbard, or Tony Pollard. Dear God, I like both of these guys a lot. I think Tony Pollard is an absolute smash, so I'm going to take Pollard here. Again, the projection of these guys is so similar. It's not going to be super unique to get Hubbard here. It's not like he fell into the 5th round where you might not see him. This also, to me, makes me more likely to be okay with taking a Josh Allen. It's 50-50 between those two. I think they're fine. I like our running back room, Walker and Pollard. Those could be the 2 top running backs on the slate. Wouldn't surprise me. Same with London and Bowers. So I really like to start, and let's see, how we're going to land at the plane. My favorite scroll down wide receiver is Tyreek Hill, because this Colts defense is really bad. Huntley's had an extra week. I don't think Huntley's that great. I've heard some concerning stuff about his ability to get the ball to wide receivers. That said, Tyreek Hill is better than any wide receiver he ever had. When he was in Baltimore, he almost connected with Hill on what would have been an 80-yard touchdown, missed him by a step. And I think if they make that connection, people are looking at this a whole lot differently than they might otherwise. I think if Josh Allen falls to me, this guy still needs a quarterback. I'm just going to take Allen. If he takes Hill, there's 1,000. You could take Deontay, and if he doesn't play, then you get somebody else. Devonta Smith is someone that's not always been drafted and it could be Jordan Addison week. Jameson's. So literally, you can go pretty deep, but somebody just took Allen, which is a little bit of a bummer. We're going to snap Hill here. This is going to be the last BR I do. And it looks like let us pair Kirk with London here. I think that makes a lot of sense. Thanks to everyone that views this. Maybe someone will view the replay one day. We will see what happens. We will see if we ever do this again. I don't know how to end a stream. There's a button. All right, everyone, this is Chad Kendall signing off. Thank you so much, and good luck this week.